Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the video and find it informative. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to us. We look forward to hearing from you. Was the universe always here, or did it have a beginning? If so, how did it start? From ancient time, philosophers and theologians have debated these questions, but it wasn't until the 20th century that a series of stunning scientific discoveries finally enable us to get some answers. The story begins in 1912 when American astronomer Vesta Slipher observed that the light coming from distant nebulae, clouds of dust and gas in outer space, appeared redder than expected. Why was this important? Here's where your high school science pays off. Remember learning about the Doppler effect. The frequency of sound, light and other waves change as a source and observer move towards each other. To demonstrate this, your science teacher likely played a recording of train. The pith of whistle blowers, that is, the sound waves stretch out, as the train reduces into the distance. Well, the same thing happens with light. If a distant star or galaxy moves away from us, the light coming from the object will also stretch out. Since in the spectrum of visible light red light correspond to the longest wavelength, physicists say light that has been stretched out has been red-shifted. This evidence of redshift suggested the nebulae were moving away from us. In 1924, astronomer Edwin Hubble, working with the new 100-inch telescope on Mount Wilson in California, showed that Slipher's nebulae were not just clouds of gas around distant stars, but actually distant galaxies beyond our Milky Way. Soon after that, the Belgian physicist Georges Lemaître correlates Slipher's red-shifted data with Hubble's measurements of distance to other galaxies. Lemaître showed the galaxies that were further away were receding faster than those close at hand. That suggested a spherical expansion of universe in all direction of space, as if the universe were expanding like a balloon from a singular explosive beginning from a Big Bang. Oddly, Albert Einstein had earlier tumbled to this idea but then dismissed it. Einstein's new theory of gravity, known as general relativity, envisioned massive bodies altering the curvature of space like a bowling ball making a depression on a trampoline. Einstein's concept of gravity implied that space would contract in on itself. Useless gravity was continually counteracted by the expansion of space. For this reason, Einstein posited constantly acting repulsive forces, known as cosmological constant, to counter gravitational attraction. But that implied a dynamic and expanding universe, and also a beginning. To avoid this conclusion, Einstein altered his own equations by arbitrarily assigning a precise value to the force of expansion to ensure that the strength of gravity and the repulsive force is exactly balanced. Thus, he depicted the universe in a perfectly poised, static state, neither expanding from the beginning nor contracting toward a collapse. But then, with Slipher and Hubble's discoveries, the heavens talked back. In 1927, Lemaître informed Einstein about the red-shifted evidence for an expanding universe. In 1931, Einstein visited Hubble at the Mount Wilson Observatory and viewed the evidence for himself. Later he announced, to his great credit, that denying the evidence for the universe having had a beginning was the greatest blunder of my scientific career. Throughout the 20th century, physicists proposed other theories that denied a cosmic beginning. One by one, evidence showed each to be inadequate. By the 1990s, the Big Bang theory had prevailed as the best explanation for the multiple lines of astronomical evidence. So why was such evidence upsetting to Einstein and to many other scientists? Princeton University physicist Robert Dicke explained, "An infinitely old universe would relieve us of the necessity of the origin of matter at any finite time in the past." Answer: it would. But if the physical universe of matter, energy, space, and time had a beginning, it becomes extremely difficult to conceive of a physical or material cause for the origin of the universe. After all, matter and energy first came into existence with the Big Bang theory. Before that, no matter or energy would have yet existed to do the casing. Consequently, whatever caused the universe to exist would need to be immaterial and exist beyond space and time. To many scientists and philosophers, all this sound an awful lot like the first words of the Bible. In the beginning the God created heavens and the earth. Thank you for your interest. We are always looking for ways to improve our content and provide our viewers with the best possible experience. We will be sure to upload more videos soon.